Arnold van Dyk, Director of Tax Services with TaxAudit, and in this video series we will be exploring different tax relief service options available to you as a taxpayer. In today's video we will be discussing IRS offer and compromises. So we've all heard it, right? We've all heard the radio ads, the TV ads, settle with the IRS for pennies on the dollar. So if you as a consumer call a tax relief company and you ask them, can I settle with the IRS for a lesser amount? The answer always needs to be, it depends. No one can tell you whether you can settle with the IRS or not, because it's entirely based on what the IRS deem your collection potential to be. And what that collection potential be and whether you can settle with the IRS is based on the IRS Offer and Compromise program. In order to qualify for an offer and compromise, you need to formally submit an offer and compromise to the IRS Offer and Compromise unit. What that entails is you need to fill out a Form 433 OIC. That form is going to require you to state all assets that you currently own. You will be required to submit all documentation relating to bank records, investment accounts, real estate you currently own, life insurance policies, any other assets that you may own at the time. It's also going to ask you to provide pay stubs, profit and loss statements if you are self-employed, to show the IRS how much money you're currently making, because the IRS is going to determine what your monthly disposable income is, and then they're going to use a formula based on your monthly disposable income and your current assets to see if you qualify to settle your IRS liability for a lesser amount. So this program, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's a simple mathematical equation, but there is a lot of nuance to the offer and compromise program, and experience definitely matters when you're hiring a tax professional to assist you with an offer and compromise. So, for example, a couple of years ago, we had a client that owed the IRS about $170,000. He came to us because he had an offer submitted by a CPA who wasn't very experienced in submitting offer and compromises. Submitted the offer and compromise, it was denied. The client actually came to us to look at it to see whether we can appeal the offer. We decided we couldn't appeal the offer because basically appeals just look at the same offer as presented. So what we advised is, let's just start over. Let's not appeal. We'll just submit a new offer altogether. And when we submitted the new offer, it was also borderline that we explained to the client that there's always a chance that the IRS is going to deny your offer and compromise. That's a risk that you have to kind of live with if you're going to submit an offer and compromise. You never know if the IRS is going to accept it, but you would have a good indication based on the documents kind of where we stand. In this particular client's case, the offer was once again denied, but this time we knew if we appealed it, we would stand a good chance. So we appealed the offer. We got an offer accepted that settled his $170,000 liability for $11,000. And we have plenty of examples of that. But a tax professional would probably be able to tell you beforehand, whether there's a good chance of success for your offer and compromise, whether it's even worth it to bother submitting an offer and compromise. Just as an example, if you owe the IRS $100,000, you live in a home that has $1 million equity, they're not going to accept an offer and compromise because you have sufficient assets to pay the liability in full. There's a lot of bad actors out there that's not going to tell you the whole truth about the offer and compromise program. Procedural issues that you also need to take into account when you're submitting an offer and compromise. Oftentimes it's better to submit an offer and compromise through a collection due process hearing request, because then you also have a right to dispute the IRS decision not only in appeals but also in tax court if the IRS denies it. So it has to go to obviously an independent third party to review if the IRS denies it on grounds that are not valid. So offer and compromise, a lot of nuances. Don't listen to companies that tell you they can settle your debt for pennies on the dollar, even though it's possible. In some cases, it's always going to depend on your specific financial situation at the time you submit the offer on compromise. So that's a little bit about the offer on compromise program. If you have any questions on your tax issue, feel free to contact us. Visit our website. You can also follow our playlist on tax debt relief services on our YouTube channel. Thank you.